says? No wonder he says everything I'm thinking.
Welcome to the Get Off My Lawn podcast. I'm TJ. With me, as always, is the star of our show, Little S, the self-proclaimed talent. My dad.
I don't know what Little S. You've done it 3 times now. What's that mean?
Because it's not a star like a big star. So just
if you say you're a star in your mind, you'll manifest actually being a star.
Well, I'm looking forward to those results.
Well, they're here. All right.
All right, well, this is our 3rd episode. We're just pretty much covering what's going on in the world, how my dad's feeling. We actually had something happen to us right before we got here. I figured that should just be the main news. Do you like convenience stores?
I don't like, actually, the reason why I moved from New York 13 years ago, there's a Facebook post I did. I went a mile down the street to a local grocery store, and a young lady behind there asked for my ID, and I didn't have my wallet with me, and she made me go home to get my wallet. I was so irate. I wrote on Facebook how I'm leaving this freaking state. I'm never staying here, blah, blah, blah. And then I actually did leave. And then today, for the first time at Circle K, which I highly advise not going to unless they sponsor me, they needed my ID for a carton of cigarettes, and I don't look a day over 50, even though I'm 60, but, a day under 50. And then she needed another thing. She wanted to see it again for my lottery. I'm in line for 20 minutes trying to get out of there, and I'm telling her, this is why it takes 20 minutes to get out of your store. And she's like, well, I'm just doing what corporate says. I go, well, stand up once in a while. You got a line here behind you. Obviously, I'm not younger than 21. It's just so stupid. And usually we don't have that here in South Carolina.
I feel like these are just signs that Melanie's not here to keep you calm and normal, because that is not really something worth getting up.
I don't know. I got upset about it 13, 14 years ago in New York. I got upset about it
You
today.
weren't out of the truck for 5 whole minutes, though.
Huh?
You weren't out of the truck for longer than 5 minutes.
It was longer than 5 minutes.
It wasn't, though, because I was watching a video that was 4 minutes and 40 seconds, and I hadn't finished the video by the time he got back into the truck. So I feel like this is just...
I made a friend in line, okay? I wasn't there for 30
Oh, he said
seconds.
we were allies.
Right?
We were in it together. We were in this foxhole together.
Me and this 6'4"
Fighting
guy
tyranny.
behind me, we were like, what the fuck? What did we do here? So, we were on the same page. I made a friend and everything. That's how long I was there.
Did you tell him about our socials, get him to follow, anything like that?
No, I was trying to get my change.
You got to start swinging it around at some point. You got 16,000 followers on TikTok. I feel like you should, start imposing your will a little bit on people,
It did work out for me the other day for the first time.
Really? Where did it work out?
I have a 2010 Shelby GT500 Super Snake that I've had for a few years, and I put it up for sale on for auction on bringatrailer.com. And so I'm having a little back and forth with this guy over at Bring a Trailer about a couple of pictures that he wants for my car, which I had it up for auction last year. It didn't meet the reserve, so, I let it go till the spring. So this guy, after I took the car out, took all the pictures again, and they want 100 pictures. Had to retake all of them. There were 2 that I didn't have after I put the car away in the garage and put everything behind it. So I wrote the guy back. I'm like, I really think you're just breaking my balls, And I said, here, I made a video of the car this morning. So you can obviously see there's been no changes to the car. Well, the video had all my get off my lawn stuff on it. And then they looked, not 5 minutes later, they called me back. Not only do I not need the pictures, that they are going to waive the fee to list the car, and they immediately put it up for auction for a week for me at the top of the slot. So I was like, oh, nice. They must have looked me up on there. So I had a few followers, and suddenly I didn't need to abide by whatever they were trying to make me abide by.
So that was your first real taste of this fame that you keep talking about that you have.
Where I think people looked at it and said, yeah, let's leave this guy alone. Which is kind of what I want to have happen. So don't piss me off. Because eventually it'll be 25,000, and eventually it'll be 50,000. And then God forbid the mailman's late, we're all coming to his house.
To tell him to get off my lawn. It's going to be an aggressive, odd approach. You're not really going to understand. We want you to leave our lawn, so we're going to come to yours. But, you know, we'll make it work. Did you hear about Chuck Norris?
Yes, it was very sad. I have this little game I play with my sister-in-law in Tampa. Whenever somebody dies, we hurry up, copy and paste it, and send it to the other one. Whoever sends it first wins. So every time somebody
morbid
dies,
game I've ever heard of.
Well, I've been kicking her ass lately because she's been busy.
Yeah.
So
my poor Aunt Karen.
So I did send her a thing about Chuck this morning, and I used to post Chuck Norris memes all the time, all the funny ones, you know, about him outlasting this or that. So it's very sad. Then I think I was 10 when I first saw that guy on TV, and so he's an American icon.
And unfortunately, these things normally come in threes, so not looking forward to whoever the next two are.
Well, it depends. It could be, you know, like Schumer or something. I won't cry.
We're trying to avoid that type of thing today. We did get demonetized a little bit there on TikTok over our leaning one particular direction views. So we're going to keep it more center today, and hopefully we can get this thing up there and posted and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, center, huh?
Center. Since we are in the center of this first little Type 22 that we're running, BarnDoor Innovations is, again, the sponsor of. We don't have one yet. So if you're interested in having this guy right here be the mouthpiece of your organization, we are looking forward to that opportunity. BarnDoor Innovations, find us on YouTube, find us on BarnDoorInnovations.com. We got the Get Off My Lawn guy here today. Did you start a new little program on our Get Off My Lawn station there?
Yeah, this guy that does the editing, has the same name as me, is going to edit these videos. I don't know, I had an idea of doing viewer mail and then responding to it. And, you know.
And so people have been sending in some stuff and you've been able to make some videos out of that?
Yeah. I might have made up the letter.
One of them, but the rest of them are genuine, actual people that watch and pay attention to our channel.
That's what we're going to tell everybody, yeah.
That's what we're going to tell them. And because we are really generating a lot of fan interest.
I mean, let's face it, the one from the Ayatollah Khomeini, obviously I made that up, but it's going to be funny.
Mm-hmm. So to make it actually funny, we need some real viewer mail to start coming in so he can comment on that. Really let him have it.
Oh, yeah. I'm really good at, like, relationship issues.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to get your wife in line, something like that. Just let me know.
Yep. I'm sure that'll go over just wonderfully.
It works for me.
So it's basically what? Boomer mail is what we're calling it?
Boomer views.
Boomer views.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your views on their situation.
The last of the baby boomers, you know, I'm like the very last, 1964. They say 63 was the last year, but I'm 64. I'm right in that gray area. So I'm technically the very last of the boomers.
Thank goodness for that.
Why? We brought you all this.
Oh, exactly. Right. Thank you. Thank you.
I sense some unappreciation on your part.
I don't know if unappreciation is the word, but it's something. It's something.
True. And these people need my advice, people like you.
Mm-hmm. I think that hearing your stories and your outlook is going to be very impactful for someone.
Seems as though it hasn't worked on him.
Swing and a
We're gonna
miss
find
here.
somebody that it works on.
Swing and a miss. Big time. But, you know, keep shooting your shot. There is Nick.
Nick's an angel.
Did you hear about the 24-karat Trump coin?
I did not. You told me about it on the way here.
You see, this is the thing. You got to start paying attention to what's going on in the world outside of Gutfeld. Did you watch the entire episode yesterday?
Yes, and I saw every minute of it because
Why did you see every minute of it?
Melanie's in Alabama visiting her mother. And
What
I had the
normally-
house to myself?
What normally stops you from watching that entire episode?
Melanie usually have an idea of something she really needs to talk to me about right in between the commercial's over, and then she suddenly, oh, by the way, when the show comes back on, and out of respect, I listen. I look like I'm listening, and getting the show over here, getting her over here. Then I say what to her. Then I say what again. So I get it 3 times over here, but I'm really hearing it over here.
So what you're saying to me, Joel, and everybody else out there is that Gutfeld is more important than Melanie?
Oh, no, I didn't say that at all. What Melanie's saying may not, be crucial at that moment. But no, other than that, I don't know. Why are you trying to get me in trouble with her, man?
Well, that's the thing. We're doing this whole thing, and I need some sort of repercussions. Maybe Melanie gets upset. She sends in the next viewer mail.
Why would you upset your stepmother like that?
At you. Upset her at you,
Well, I'm going to tell her it's all your fault. So, then
And-
she's upset at you.
And then she'll just still be upset with you for placing the blame on me. See how I get out of this scot-free?
Mm-hmm.
And I get the content I need. You get in trouble. Me and Melanie get closer. I mean, it's a win-win-win.
Melanie and I haven't had an argument in 6 years. So I doubt you're going to start that.
Maybe today's the day. All right, well, this kind of ties into the whole boomer thing. Naps. How do you feel about naps?
I'm not a big nap guy. I like them, but I can't take them if it's Monday through Friday. Even though I'm retired, I still feel guilty if I take a nap. It's on a Thursday. You're supposed to be working, so I can never take a nap because I start feeling guilty. I should be doing something, so I just don't take a nap.
I mean, nap culture is booming right now with my generation, so I feel like maybe
know,
not so
of
much
course it is.
my
Of course it is.
generation, but Gen Z. I mean, they
Actually,
love
there
their
was a
naps.
viewer mail of a one person your age that has an issue where they work 25 hours a week and yet can't make ends meet.
I mean, 25 hours a week's probably not going to cut it, but
Yeah, I went off on them.
and you think that represents me?
It's your age, your whole age. You said your age is in the nap culture.
Well, yeah, we're
'Cause
all
your
getting
age is
into
a
our
bunch of lazy
30s.
mother-
Life has really beat us down at this point.
Oh my God!
We were in school watching towers fall. We got stuff
Oh,
going
my
on.
God.
We need a little snoozy doos.
Boy, the excuses you guys make.
You
It's
guys,
just ridiculous. Yeah, your generation.
I mean,
You watched towers fall. Boo-hoo. You didn't watch shit. You were out playing in the yard. You don't know what happened.
it was in school. Miss Morawski's class. She pulled us in. Watch those towers fall.
Your generation is all about finding an excuse as to why you can't be successful. That's all you do.
Giving a representation of we've
you
been going through it our entire lives. We deserve a little snooze.
No.
Well,
Your generation
nap
is
time.
always finding an excuse as to why they're unable to be successful. Blame it on that. We didn't blame it on my parents or our grandparents. It was you worked or you didn't work. You worked hard or you didn't work hard. Or you worked smart and you didn't work smart.
I don't understand where this is coming from. All I said is we deserve a little nap.
No, you just
it's
don't.
like you're holding out some sort of
Until you own
hostility
your own
toward-
house and have your own retirement plan and your kids are all fed, then you can take a nap. Until that happens, there is no napping.
So Saturday and Sunday naps are off the table too.
Look, I didn't even go home until I was 35. I was gone from 18 to 35.
And because of that, you get this. No.
Yeah. 1 out of 4 girlfriends go, "Yeah, you got me." Yeah. So, no, I didn't even come home. I worked, always had 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs. Even when I was making really good money, you know, like early 90s, I was making 50-something thousand a year, which was unheard of. And I still opened up a nightclub. And then I ran both of them. I did both of them for like a year and a half. Got done at work at 5, took off my suit, put on my nightclub stuff, stayed there till 3, 4 in the morning, slept for 3, 4 hours, got up, went to work all day in a suit and tie, and repeated it 7 days a week. So I am like no sympathy for anybody that tells me how tired they are or that they need a nap. You nap, you get a dirt nap later, forever. It's fucking ridiculous, you know?
It's almost like the person that planned this thing out knew that he's just not a big fan of naps, you know?
Yeah. Well, at least he's planning it better than last week's. Tell me a story, Daddy. Tell me a story. Doesn't lead me on anywhere. Just says, tell me a story. Like he's 4 years old. And
I shouldn't have to lead the talent to the water so he can drink. You should just be talented and be able to pull a story out of anywhere because you're talented. You know?
I must be.
As a matter of fact,
in the ground.
Look at that. We got 6 more minutes of this thing right here. Do you got any good stories hanging around about growing up in the 80s and 70s and 80s?
No, actually, I got something that's burning me up.
Ooh, burning them up.
This buddy of mine I've known since I was 10 years old. So we've been great friends for 50 plus years. I haven't talked to him since around November of 2024. He kind of dropped out, so I didn't see him too much. I was driving somewhere the other day. I said, let me give him a call, see how he's doing. Now he's married to a teacher, and he's got a daughter that's uber liberal. But he was usually right in the middle of the road. And I swear, for 20 minutes, I listened to this guy. He mentioned the problems with the world are rich people 6, 7 different times. I mean, and I'm trying because I want to stay friends with him, you know, to just let that slide. But man, it just proves that if you watch CNN and those crap channels enough, that you will eventually believe the shit they're slinging, which is totally, totally wrong. So yeah, here's a normal guy, successful guy, couple properties in New York City, does really well, and he 6 different times in a 20-minute conversation blamed rich people. And that is such a cop-out. And, you know, 'cause it's such a cop-out. I just can't. I was like, that's just so sad.
I mean,
that's who you believe. That's who you think is after you. No, they don't give a shit about you.
Right.
They don't know you. They don't know nothing. You know, it's that politician that's doing it to you. But, you know, they're on the left, so. Fantasyland.
I wanted to try to keep us in the center, but of course I let you go with freedom one time, and there we go, right back to demonetized. But hey, what are you going to do?
I didn't say anything bad.
No, it's cool. We're fine. We should be able to. Everybody knows CNN's basically like the WWE.
Yeah, I did get one of those fan letters from one of the CNN anchors, actually. That's coming out in a week or so.
Well, thank goodness she reached out to you. That should really help us in the future.
Yep. It says, "Dear Get Off My Lawn Guy, I am a primetime cable news host." And it goes, signed Caitlin, so get ready.
And I have no idea who that is, but he's confident that it's a real person. So I look forward for all of you to tell me who the heck that is.
Well, when I want to get angry between 9 and 10 o'clock, I will switch on that channel, watch it for 5 minutes, and then throw something and feel good. Light another smoke.
Why give them the ratings? You know?
I don't. I only get it on for like 5 minutes or something. I listen to what crap they're talking about, and then...
Do you at least block the VPN beforehand, so it seems like it's just some random person in Oregon watching?
My VPN's all over the world, so
okay, that's good.
I'm not particularly concerned about that.
Because I don't want people to know that you're watching CNN.
I watch it so they don't have to.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as they're not watching it, I guess that works.
Actually, they should just watch it and then go back to the other one and compare. Because if you compare, then you can see the lies so easily. It's the ones that just keep it on CNN that are the brainwashed. If you would actually open up your mind and look at something else, you would see, oh my God, she's lying. She's lying. It's just amazing.
Well, I mean, it's theater. That's all it is they're trying to, one, rewire people's brains so that they think the way that they need them to think to continue to get their ratings.
They're the enemy of us. Right now, we're currently at war with our second greatest enemy. And soon that'll be over, and then we can go to war with our first greatest enemy.
And we're not going to say specifically who that is because we're trying to avoid being demonetized.
Right.
Right.
They live amongst us.
Spooky.
It's all right. They got little identifiers. You can tell who they are.
The blue hair, the septum rings, one of those. Yeah. Do you know, I heard that voice, when there's nobody around, they don't do it. You know the exact voice I'm talking about?
Yes.
And when there's just two of them together, they'll talk like normal people.
Yeah, they get all
sweet. They're peacocking for everybody else out there.
Yeah.
All right, so this is actually going to end our first segment, and on the next one, we're going to be talking about sales. This guy here wrote a book that's going to be coming out called Selling Sales. He's going to have the BarnDoor Sales Academy podcast a little bit down the road where he's going to talk to other people that are in sales. So we're going to kind of tee him up to talk a little bit about that with all of you.
Well, I can't wait. All I need is the copyright for my book that I gave him 2 months ago. But we'll talk about it.
Welcome back to the Get Off My Lawn podcast. So, my father here spent basically his entire life in sales, all the way up to retirement. Lots of experience. Tell us a little bit about your history in sales.
Well, I used to do business-to-business sales. I graduated high school on a Saturday. I started working for my dad's typewriter repair business on Monday, and I did that for 7 years. 3 weeks off in that 7 years, and about a year in, I asked him, Dad, how do we get more business? How do we? Because I'm making $80 a week. I think total sales was like $35,000 a year. And he goes, well, you go to these businesses, and they have purchasing agents, and you go make an appointment with them, and then you go in and you try to get their service contract for all their typewriters and stuff like that. It's 1982 at the time, 83. So I made a couple appointments. I went there, and all these other people, the salespeople, are there to meet the purchasing agents, and they're dressed in suits and ties. So I left. I went back to the house. I said, Dad, I got to have a tie and a suit. Everybody in there's got one. So he bought me a jacket and a tie. And then I just started going to purchasing agents, and I ended up quadrupling the business over time. When I left in 89, we were doing like $140,000 a year, which was like huge for him. That's why he only worked 2 hours a day, because he'd come in, he'd leave, he'd get the parts for his Mustang, and he'd go home and he'd work on his Mustang, and I'm doing everything. But it was great. Learned a great work ethic there. Didn't matter if I got home at 5 in the morning or whatever. He was pounding on that door at 7:30 to get to the shop. So that's how initially it started. Also, during that time, I had a buddy that sold Rainbow vacuum cleaners, and he said, come on, you got to give this a try. We make $200 a vacuum cleaner. And I had a 77 Trans Am at the time, the Bandit car. I was 19 years old. And the Rainbow wouldn't fit in the trunk. I had to use the tie-downs, and I'm driving down the street smoking in the Bandit with a Rainbow vacuum cleaner sticking out the back. But I was making $200 a vacuum cleaner, and it was an $850 vacuum cleaner at the time, but they sold the payment. It was $39.95, so you would sell the payment. And I'd go into houses that they haven't cleaned this place in years, stunk to high heaven. I remember one, garbage bags in the living room just piled up, just stunk. And but I was selling, 2 or 3 of those a week in the 80s. So all my friends were at college. I'm getting $80 from my dad full time. I'm making another $400 to $600 a week selling rainbows at night. And, you know, I pretty much was hooked on sales after that because I realized I can do it whenever I wanted to, and I seemed to be okay at it. And then in '89, I sold this printing company a fax machine, and they asked me to come back later. Sat me down, they're like, we want you to come work for us. And I said, well, I can't leave. My dad, you know, he's paying me $200, or, you know, I can't leave, my dad. They're like, how much your dad paying? I said, $225 a week. By then, yeah, I had gotten all the way up to there. And they go, we'll double it. I'm like, you'll double it? And they're like, right now, no problem. I'm like, holy crap, I have to go home and tell Dad this. And he was not happy. He was not a happy camper. Mom was crying. It was a big mess. Because, you know, they gotten used to me running everything. I'm 24 years old, and I run the family business, and, well, they're kind of hanging out. So it was traumatic for them, but it was great for me because I got to be around career salespeople, great guys. Phil Aiello, the best salesperson I ever knew. George Penry, just an incredible guy. So to have those two guys as my mentor and to train me was just great. And I excelled at that. I sold millions and millions of dollars worth of printing. I ended up getting a private jet ride to Virginia because I was doing the annual report for the Turning Stone Casino. So yeah, it was pretty neat. Good little run I had there.
Do you feel like you learned a huge lesson about when you sit down at the table and somebody offers to double your salary, you maybe say triple it?
Not when you're 24, no.
I mean, clearly they're sitting you down because they see value in you, and they instantly say on the spot, we'll double that salary. You got to think, how high are you willing to go?
Well, within 3 years, I was at $52,000 and a car. They bought me out. They leased me a brand new car.
This is the place. Which place is this?
CNY Business Forum.
Oh, so this is the one where you'd go to Vegas and stuff like that.
Yeah. I handled the accounts in Vegas there for a while when you were 5. Mm-hmm. I used to have to bring you to Adam and Debbie Hardy's house, and they would watch you for a week because I had full custody of raising the kid by myself. And I would fly to Vegas, and for a week I'd be there selling to the Mirage, MGM, all of them. And I sold a ton of stuff. Back then, they used to do the continuous printers, and they had the tracks on the side, and I just sell by the millions of those folios, they used to call them.
And do you feel like this is where you really fell in love with video poker?
No, actually, the pisser was I didn't know anything about poker when I was doing this. I didn't learn poker until 2002.
2002? Oh, so the Poker Stars era.
Yes, once I saw Chris Moneymaker on ESPN win $2 million, and he paid $35, I'm like, what is going on here? So I ordered every book on poker that I could find, read them, and then I played incessantly. While you were young and I didn't have babysitters, I just played online. And I made over $100,000 in that period of the 2000s. I mean, you remember.
Yeah.
$15 tournament. With 2,400 people, start playing at 5:30 in the afternoon. It's 4 in the morning, and I win the whole thing. And it was $6,000. And back then, you could just go to the ATM and max out your ATM. So I'd wake you up. Come on, we got to go hit the ATMs. It was like 3 weeks before Christmas. We needed that. Went around, remember, getting all the money out, and then took you out partying. So, yeah, but when I was going to Vegas to sell the printing, I knew nothing of poker. I knew nothing of gambling. I didn't like it.
So just strictly the ladies of the night?
No, I didn't have time for that. I mean, let me tell you, when you're in Vegas and you're like, oh, the Mirage, it's right there. And then you start walking, and then an hour and a half later, you get it.
It's still right there.
Because it's still right there. Mm-hmm. So, no, it was quite tiring being, I would actually work.
Yeah, it wasn't the Uber area.
Yeah, there was no Uber in or any of that. So, but I didn't have any real vices that I could have taken advantage of, And in 2002, once I learned poker, I'm like, I wasted all those years of Vegas. I could have went and probably would have been playing with A lot of the guys I know on TV.
Phil helping you with all those guys. Yeah.
I did end up meeting them all because I became pretty good at poker, and then I've got World Series of Poker caches, and I've been to several World Series in Vegas since, so it's fun. I got a little trophy from World Poker Tour in one of their
I have
events.
it in the shrine room set up for this star.
Well, I mean, I have a trophy. It has your name on it. Just
It's
because
true.
I gave you the
One day I could swap out all the pictures and just say it was me.
Anyway, that was sales. Where else going
No, hold on. We're
At
not
least
done with
this is
sales.
better than tell me a story, Dad.
See, the thing is, I got a great little video out of that worked out perfectly. And again, I wanted to see what you're capable of. Now I know you don't just have thoughts unless I give them to you.
You know, I only agreed to this podcast because I figured, what's the worst that could happen? He's got hours and hours of video of me talking. So that can only be a good thing. So when I'm gone and dead and gone and in your closet in a jar, you'll be able to look at all these videos and go, my God, he was brilliant.
Brilliant and fidgety. Stop hitting this table and making my microphone jump around. Golly.
That's why I can't take a nap.
This is, that and a clear undiagnosed case of ADHD.
What else would you like to talk
Well,
about?
again, we got to drop in a sponsor plug here. This is a great time for us to mention our sponsor, which we don't have. So, you know, if you're looking to be getting your business out there a little bit more, we are BarnDoor Innovations. This is where we have to put in this sponsor plug, which, again, it'd be great to have one. You know,
Well, we're going to get some because I've told you how to go get some.
all you've told me is go out there and find someone. I've asked
That's
multiple times, what type of businesses would you like to represent?
One that will pay.
One that will pay.
That's it.
That's
you just
it.
knock on doors.
Yeah,
we go to places.
We're
That's
just
all it
knocking
is.
on doors.
I used to sell advertising on the back as another second job. I sold advertising that went on grocery bags. So all the businesses around town could put their little ad, and it was paper grocery bags because that was the 80s. And I made good money doing that too. But that's a door knocking job. You go from advertising, he knows, he's been in advertising. It's a door knocking job. You knock on doors. So you find some place where you feel like we could be a benefit to them. You bring in your tablet, you show them all the followers and some of the funnier videos, and you get somebody to put up a couple $100.
Almost like I set that up so you can continue to talk about sales. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, go make a sale. See, I'm a good salesman, but I'm retired. I'm here for fun.
Heavy,
however,
on the tired.
still
He'll be
broke.
going home to take a nap as soon as we're done here.
I will not nap on during the week. Monday through Friday, I would never nap.
It's Friday afternoon. The day's over. You put
No,
in
my
all
wife's
your-
out of town, the house to myself. I ain't wasting it on a nap.
Mm-hmm.
I can't hear the peace and quiet if I'm sleeping.
That's the.
I'm sorry, honey, I didn't mean it like that.
All right. Sales. Tell me the grossest house you've ever walked into.
That's really hard because I've been in a lot of gross houses. I would say the first one where I had switched from business to business sales to in-home sales. So in 2009, I landed with a company that did reflective insulation in attics in upstate New York. And so I would have to do a 2-hour, 3-hour presentation. All these people, 40 or 50 of them, were invited to a dinner. And I would do a seminar for 2-3 hours on energy savings and how my product can save energy. And then people would sign up for the appointment, and then I'd go the next day and sell them all this stuff. The first house I go to, it says on the sheet, he's an electrical engineer. Great. And I get up to the nice ranch house, seemed normal. When he opened that door, it was straight out of Hoarding Buried Alive. And I'm talking, there's only little alleyways, maybe, 12 to 16 inches where you can walk through, boxes and shit just piled up. We passed the kitchen. I look in there, garbage bags filled up, ketchup stains on the wall. And now we're easing our way into what was a living room area. All he had was one available cushion on the couch, and it had an inch of dog hair on it. And the guy goes, "Have a seat." It was the only seat in the house. And I'm like, "Nah, that's all right. I'll stand up and do it." I was supposed to get the square footage of the house so I can give an estimate on the insulation. And you got to do that from the attic. But just looking around, I ain't getting to no attic in this guy's house. So I decided to do it all downstairs. And the guy buys it, $3,600 in insulation. And I left there, and I immediately took a bath, and then a shower, and then another bath. But I made $600+ on that, and it was my first one, but it was simply horrible, stunk to high heaven. And then all those, when I'm in houses at that point, you know, people get comfortable when I'm talking to them at the kitchen table. And after a while, I start watching them. They're picking their nose. They're digging in their ear. If a woman's skinny enough, she's got her feet in her lap and she's picking between her toes. And then when it's over, they go, "Thanks, Tom." And I shake my hand. And I would do it, but I'm a germaphobe. And I had hand sanitizer in my truck since 2010 and was using it regularly, way before the COVID people said, maybe we should wash our hands. So I was a leader in the clean hand department, all because of that day and those type of sales.
I mean, yeah, I feel like anybody that goes through that type of thing, your first thought is, I need to get this layer of skin off of me.
Nah, there's some people that just would have went to McDonald's and ate a sandwich with the same hand.
Gross.
You know it, and I know it. I'm just, a little cleaner.
What do you feel like makes a good salesman?
A good salesman has to listen.
What?
Listen.
Huh?
That's it. The good salesman listens. You go in, you identify the problem, and then you solve that problem. Too many people go in with a script and all these boxes they got to check in their head. I didn't have any of that. When I'm walking from the truck to the door, I'm just scanning, looking for a bumper sticker, looking for a flag. Oh, they like the Falcons. Oh, they like the Patriots. Oh, this or that. And the minute they answer the door, Patriots fan. Cool, me too. Even though I wasn't, I was then for that moment. But I would always have something to talk to the people about that made us relatable. If they had a dog that got me at the door, I talked about my dog. So whenever I went into a house, I just made it so that they knew I was just a normal friend guy. And it worked for me. I started a business out of a spare bedroom, and within a few years, 15 employees and several $1 million worth of sales, and then sold the whole company later. That's why we're able to sit here and talk and think we're important on camera.
We are important. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, especially me.
I know. I have a lot of believability issues when it comes to you, boy.
I can't help that.
And Melanie will say, "Did that really happen?" Well, he said it did, but I don't know if it's true.
His memory is so bad. Let's just show everybody. So this is episode 3 of mentioning this. Did you bring that Piss Missile golf club or golf glove? So we could do that little promo here on the.
I told you it was dirty. I got to get on.
So that's 0 for 3 on the request, so we can make.
You can see it on my TikTok shop. It's Piss Missile Golf Products.
Yeah, again, we need to show it in the video so I can make the promo for them, and they can reimburse you for the money that they're supposed to charge you, or they're going to charge you for that free sample glove.
You know how your morning pee is kind of really yellow? That's what it looks like.
But glove form.
Glove. And they have teas in a cigarette box and that are yellow, and the balls are yellow.
If only we can put that on video.
Well, it was a little too cold to golf this week, so I didn't think about it.
It is a little bit more brisk here in Myrtle Beach than I had anticipated, especially for March.
It was, 38, 39 this morning? And I think that's winter's last gasp down here.
I sure should hope so, because I don't want to have to keep turning my heat on in the morning when the house is 59 degrees.
Yeah, I pay for the heat. But anyway, I think I've said this 3 times now. The last 3 times it's gotten cold. That this is the last gasping winter. So eventually I'm going to be right, and hopefully this time I am.
Yeah, I mean, you're more consistent with you being right than you have been here on this whole "it's cold here" thing.
We've been getting any responses from the radio at all?
Not yet. Only 2 episodes.
2 episodes, right?
I told them we got to keep pumping them out. It'll happen eventually. Somebody will care what you have to say.
I don't know. I want to at least get a message. Hey, I heard you on X and X, and you're an asshole. I don't care what they say, but just.
We are looking for viewer mail. We're going to tie things up here in a moment. We're ending early, but that's
before you do that. At bringatrailer.com, you'll find my 2010 Shelby GT500 Super Snake with only 4,700 original miles on it. And the auction ends next Thursday, the 26th. Is that Thursday?
What's the current high bid? What's the current high bid?
Well, I wanted to get this answer.
Yeah, we can get the date as we get.
Well, there's been 4
continue
bids.
to fill
It's been
air.
Well, it's
26.
the 26th. It ends at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It started yesterday, 24 hours ago. I've had 4 bids on it, 1,600 views, 500 people saved it, and we're up to 39,000. So it hasn't met the reserve quite yet.
And where was that again? Post?
Bringatrailer.com.
Bringatrailer.com.
It's a white Shelby GT500 Super Snake 2010 with a black stripe down the middle.
They only made a certain number of those, right?
There's probably only 2 or 3 with my color combination ever made. This one, the plate says it's the 18th one made in 2010, so it's a top 25 car. So, and it's immaculate. That's why I got to sell it, because I want one that I can bang around with a little bit.
Well, thank you guys again for swinging on down with us here.
I do have one thing to say. If you want to, respond to Tom, whatever the hell you're talking about sometimes, I do have a text line, 843-418-3673. Text and say, Tom, you're full of shit. That way people know how to get in touch with you. The text line is out there, and if you have any texts, I will forward them to Mr. Barnaba.
You heard that. Tom, you're full of shit. Just so we can sort them out and make sure they're all ended up in the right place.
Not everybody's going to think that. Some people are going to think
Tom, you're full of shit. Make sure.
Some people are going to say, wow, he's incredibly handsome. But
thank you again for joining us here on the Get Off My Lawn podcast. I'm TJ. This is my dad. Thanks for listening.
Have a great day.
Yeah, I appreciate you. He'll figure it out eventually, I promise. Thank you for listening to the Get Off My Lawn podcast, brought to you by BarnDoor Innovations. We thank Voices from the Balcony Radio for the broadcast time. Follow us on social media at Pop Said, Get Off My Lawn on TikTok, Get Off My Lawn on Facebook, and BarnDoor Innovations on YouTube. This was a BarnDoor Innovations production.